Son of a bitch, dude. I'm so glad to see you, buddy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is cool. Thank you for inviting me.
Why not do something dedicated to music, right? Because Rachel used to hang out at the Palladium in San Francisco, right?
Back in the day. Yes, back in the day.
I used to hang out at the Agora. I worked there.
Yeah, I played at the Agora. I'm a little bit younger than Jimmy. I was actually one of Jimmy's students.
No, were you really?
Yeah.
Jimi Bell? Jimi Bell, though, right?
Yeah, Jimi Bell, and that's our connection. And my mom used to drop me off at Creative Music to get my lessons. Yeah.
Creative Music. Yeah, exactly. That was in East Hartford, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, right off of Main Street.
And one of my first real gigs was at the Agora. We were like, I don't know, we were like the really early band on the bill, but it was a joint forces gig. And I remember the Agora well. Went to a lot of shows there. It's too bad that I miss the clubs like that. Those size rooms, like they're just rocking rooms. What is it? I know there was the really huge room there, but the smaller room probably held, I don't know, 400 or 500 people. It was
right.
Yeah, great size room, great rock and roll room.
Well, actually, it had the bar too, and the bar held at least another 50 or 75.
Yeah. I just love those. I love those old school rock and roll rooms. In Connecticut, Toad's Place is still there, but there's not a lot of those like just down and dirty, just straight up stage PA, big ass bar type places. Not in the Northeast as much, anyway.
Yeah, I think that's something that's really missing today a lot. We were talking earlier, just before you came on, about that raw energy, the Marshall amps, the JB pickups, the friggin'. Now it's like where I am in Tennessee, it's like PV and Fender, right? And so it's a little different flavor than what I grew up with, right? Because we're talking like Flying V's, and Gibson Explorers, and just loud, raw, heartfelt. So how I met Josh, right? So I was in Roswell, New Mexico, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, man, but I went into a friend of mine owns a t-shirt shop and merchandise type of thing. And he's got like almost like a speakeasy in the back where they got a refrigerator, they got Coronas, drinks, and everything. He's like, "Come on back." And Josh walks in, and we're talking, and I think Max said, he's related to Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm like, son of a bitch, I met Jimmy, back in like 1986 or 87. So the Thunderbirds had come in to warm up the Stray Cats, and I was running follow spots, and I was like the acting stage manager. It was really Sandy. You might remember Sandy, Northeast Concerts. I was actually, when he wasn't around, I was like, "Hey, you run it this weekend." I'm like, "Okay." Jimmy and the rest of them were in the back. They're having lasagna and everything. And so Sandy's like, "Hey, man, you want to do a sound check?" So I got up there and I hit the drums a little bit, checked the PA. And then I grabbed the guitars, banged out some bar chords, maybe an open A, you know how it is. And one of them was Jimmy Vaughan's guitar. So when I met Josh, right, he's like, "Hey, can I get a ride back to Dallas?" Because I had my limo, right? And I'm like, "Sure." So I find myself sleeping in a bunk bed, like a kid's bunk bed. Then the next day, we're at Six Flags. I'm going to play something real quick, okay? This is from like 2 days ago, all right?
Did you go to Alcatraz?
Yes, I did. I lived out in the Bay Area originally.
Oh, you did? I used to live out there myself. I used to live in a town called San Rafael.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Small world, huh?
Small world.
Yeah, you lived off of 4th Street. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, BJ, Rachel.
Burn your panties.
Okay, ready to listen to this madman?
You got to have, not all system back. While your fat cats all right, stand back. You feel the heat, feel the vibe, brewing out the street. We the people by the train on the 16. Looking down from the clouds, what they see. Lost, hurt, led astray away.
Probably pissed off about something.
You think?
Like, just to think that like some kid who's like 5 or 6, like the first time experiencing or seeing rock and roll or anything like it is this like band going by on a truck where he's sitting.
Yeah, he'll be telling his family about it for years to come. He'd be like, "Man, when I was a little kid, I saw this crazy son of a bitch. He was going on the back of a flatbed truck."
Hopefully,
you know?
hopefully some of those kids grab some drumsticks or a guitar or something and keep it all going. So that's what I love about it the most.
Yeah, I actually have a clip of that. You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's cool. So is this the guy right here?
Yeah, that's Kerry Galarny,
Jesus.
a madman.
Yeah, it looks like friggin' Thor with bagpipes.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great guitar player, great singer, great musician all around. And a bunch of years ago, I remember he just decided he's going to play bagpipes, and he dove in and woodshedded and took lessons and just really went for it. And now he tears on them like it's like Yngwie on bagpipes. It's mental.
I don't hear many people going, "Hey, I need a lead guitar player and somebody on bagpipes." Now, didn't you like warm up like or play with REO Speedwagon and Styx too?
Yeah, we did a gig up at the New Hampshire Pavilion. And yeah, it was Styx and REO and Loverboy.
Loverboy. Wow. There you go.
Loverboy, you know what? I wasn't ready for it. I thought it'd be schlocky. Wow, they destroyed it.
No, Loverboy did?
Loverboy did. Yeah, no, they totally kicked ass. And Styx was
Styx was okay?
Yeah, Styx was great. Yeah, they really did it.
What was that, Dr. something or other?
Mr. Roboto.
Someone and you're like, man, I would just lay on that note a little bit longer, or a squeal right there would be cool, or that pitch was how about this? You can't do that when everyone's on individual tracks and they're in different parts of town or the state or country,
especially the rhythm section. I mean, you can put the rest of the band over a great rhythm section playing together, but I mean, that's where I find, you can overdub guitar tracks, you can overdub vocals, you can do some things, but that foundation, if that's not done together, it's tough. It's always going to be the slightest of compromise.
I don't think they'll ever be able to get that warmth of a tube sound ever through anything digitally, honestly. I mean, obviously converting through a microphone would be the only way to capture that boost of warmth, and it's the equivalent to stepping out of the analog world into the digital world, where people will go in and they'll buy a digital amp and they'll play it, use them in live concerts, but it will never capture that same sound that a tube amp will capture. There's just no way.
No. Digital versus a Mesa Boogie. Or a rectifier, oh my God. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
I'm wicked old school with all that stuff. I mean,
yeah, me too, man. JB pickups, I'm like all about that, you know.
You know, I mean, I have the same pedal board and the same amp from when I was 17. I'm using the exact same stuff.
Don't ever get rid of it.
I mean, a 50-watt Marshall and, you know, a tuner, a wah, and a analog delay. I mean, I'm done.
Is that what you
tell
play
you-
with a Marshall? You got like the EL34 tubes, I think, are in a Marshall, right?
I have EL34s in the main one. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll rip your face off.
Yeah, it's you know, I've turned down because, you know, the rooms and just the way things are. I mean, people just don't destroy with volume, and I get that. Yeah, well, you know what? The only time I really crank an outdoor gig and just open it up.
So when you play indoors, you turn it down.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you know, I mean, it's a classic. What am I going to get in a fight with myself? I'm the singer too. You know, I got to hear everything.
Well, I think it was more 90s for me, but I mean, there was a bunch of different. I think it was a pretty eclectic music scene in the Bay Area. You know, we had some other older kind of rockers, like from you know, like Grace Slick from Jefferson Starship. She was out there. He had Huey Lewis and the News, which is
Metallica, Slayer.
oh, that's true. Yeah, Metallica was there. That's right in Marin County too. He lived in the one of the little towns there. He was he bought a huge piece of property, and
I mean, growing up, it was Society's Children, Rat Race Choir, Crier, Eyes, Jimmy Bell, Bell Attack, you know, you name it. I mean, it was just like they brought it. You know what I mean?
There
It
was
was
a bunch- yeah, there was a bunch of
bullshit. It wasn't fake.
Bunch of rooms, and there was a scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And
down here in Nashville, obviously, was country music. So
yeah, can we hear that twang again?
now I could do without, but
Yeah, you know, Dallas was very bluesy, and you know, ZZ Top, and you know, the Vaughn family and that kind of thing. So everyone has their own, I think, way back. You know, when you go back to music, right? It's not like you go back past the 60s or 70s when you really think of music, right? It's not that long ago that these flavors. Oh, Chicago, right, was very bluesy, right? That was right, and that's when Jimmy did the movie with Joan Jett, Michael J. Fox, all that. Right.
Things arise in different areas. You know, I mean, it's always been.
Do you
like
think that
that
the music that we know or grew up with or are passionate, you know, have that passion for, do you think that's gone? I mean, they're still selling it in tube amps, right? I mean, I've got an Engel Powerball 2 with 6L6 tubes. I mean, they're still selling them, but do you think that edge, that
it's nothing.
that
I mean,
real sound is gone?
you know, I mean, I think it's more more than the gear, it's the attitude, right? I mean, I think you can fool people with the gear if the genuine attitude is there about whatever the genre. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, nothing replaces the real thing and the nuances of it. But you look at all the way back to the '90s. You know, you'd listen to songs and they'd have 5 or 6 parts, and now you listen to a song, it's got 2 parts. It's got the intro, which is the verse and the chorus, and then there's a breakdown in the same beat, and you go back to the chorus, and then you hear the DJ talk. That's it. That's the song.
Yeah.
I wonder if like there's a lack of connection there too. You know, because I think maybe music brings that connection, that human connection there, that it speaks to people, and maybe they're, like you mentioned, like the genuine kind of it's kind of lost that.
Okay, so back in the day when I was in the music, I understood that it was a 70-30, right? The record companies were getting 70% of the marketing, you were getting 30% of the album sales. I don't know where that is today. Josh, you probably know better than me. You do know better than me. But it was always about the marketing. It started to become less about the music and the soul of it and the feel of it and what really worked, and it became more about the marketing. And once they did that, you can see where everything went. It just went to TNA.
that all goes mostly to the record label. So, and then you have, different areas, right? Like we were talking earlier, Nashville, these country stars, a lot of them, they may write their own songs, but none of them really get played or even make it on the album or the cut because, the record labels want to claim all of it. And so they have their own in-house people writing music in which they make no royalties off of it either because they're being paid to produce the material for their artists. So it's just it's an unfair business, to be honest. And I too had almost fallen into the same trap a couple of times,
I don't know,
Yeah, I
man.
try to look at it all as an art project, and then like the commerce part, if it works out, that's great. But I try not to let the I mean, I don't know, money and art never really play nice one way or another. I don't know.
And maybe that's unfortunately what it's all about is money and greed, and not a lot of people are in it for the artistry like they used to be.
I've got another video of yours,
Oh.
and I just want to play. It's like a minute. I edited it. What a freaking good song! It's the one that Black Hole. What's the name of that?
Oh, okay, mine. I wasn't know what you were playing.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What's the name of that?
Hole in My Soul.
Okay, I'm gonna play that real quick. Okay, we can talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, check this out, man. Seriously.
I worked at the music store right in New Haven, right by the New Haven Coliseum. So, like, when bands would come through town, it was the place all the techs would come and get strings and all kinds of stuff at the shop. So, really early on when I was like 17, I was in a Coliseum arena, like bringing strings, meeting Ted Nugent, restringing Joe Perry's guitars, and like doing stuff like that when I was young, and I got to be around. Like I got, they're just coming through town, and I get to go and hang with the guitar techs and meet the guys and stuff like that. But I was young. But I was young. I was like 17, so getting that close was a big deal. Went to trade shows like the NAMM show and stuff like that when I was like 16, 17, and ended up, and that thing ended up, it's like I'm like 17 or whatever, and I meet Jeff back. It's like, and I remember that first time I went, I was like standing next to Brian May, and he was like, handed me his main #1 to like hold for a second. So it was like a bunch of cool stuff like that. And it has an impact on you. And then I ended up moving out. Then I ended up moving to Hollywood right out of high school. And I was in Hollywood from, I don't know, it was like 1988 to like 94, 95 when I moved back here, So, and I played in bands there. I played up and down the strip,
Did you play the Roxy? Did you play the Roxy and the Whiskey? And all that?
I played the Roxy, the Whiskey. Had a residency at Gazzari's for a minute.
No way, man.
Played the Central.
Gazzari's, man. That's a name I have forgot. Gazzari's on the Strip. I was staying at this apartment, and you went on the roof, and you could look out over Sunset and Hollywood and everything. And as you went down on Sunset Grill, there was that little Sunset, spot where they had the burgers and everything. It wasn't far from Los Feliz, where the Hollywood sign went to Chevy Chase Boulevard out towards Glendale.
Right. If you go down farther east.
Yeah, it was right there, and I'd eat there. It was just kind of one of those things.
I used to work around. I used to work at a place called Amp Crazy, which is next to Max Guitar, and it was like the grill was here. It's like the back of the other building is like the alley in between.
Yeah, and I
ate there like 1,000 times. Things started to get cheesy at some point there. I mean, the glam band thing was just kind of too much for me, and thank God for
All right, so you were there in the late 80s.
Late 80s, and it was still it's still pretty cool, but so much like there was some goofball shit. Basically, you're buying tickets to play. I mean, there was always pre-sale, but which I didn't care about in the beginning because if a club says you got to buy 80 tickets at $5 and it's $15 at the door, and it's going to be a show, that means you're going to make $10 a ticket, right? I don't have a problem with that type of thing, but if a club's like selling you $15 tickets for $15, you're getting screwed. It's business. There's supposed to be a margin. And you know what? The whole thing fell apart because it just turned into BS, New York is actually one of the sadder ones for me because the East Village, I lived in the East Village for a few years, and I was in a band called the American Trash there, which is a great rock and roll band. And we were playing all these great smaller clubs. We were
CBGBs?
We were playing CB's, but we had a residency at a place called the Continental. We were playing there we were playing there every week for a long time.
I used to hang out on Green Street in Bleecker.
Yeah. Did some things at West Village, but East Village is just like there was kind of a scene, and it was great. And just because of real estate and whatnot, those none of them exist anymore. Like a complete area that was, a bunch of great clubs, all kinds of music, all kinds of music, not just rock and roll, but some great rock and roll clubs, all kinds of stuff. And now there's completely gone. Who knows? I keep making records, keep releasing stuff. I guess the plan is to just keep doing it. I'm blessed to be able to do it. I mean, I got my health, I got my voice. So just keep making it happen. I mean, what would I like to happen? Yeah, sure. I'd like to get an email that they're hey, Martin Scorsese heard this tune and he's going to lead off the movie with it, and here's your check. But I don't know. I believe in the timeless element of it. Anything I record, I just try to keep in my mind. It's this needs to sound timeless. I don't want a shelf life on what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just keep doing things with that thought in mind. And
you got a little Kid Rock thing going in there a little bit, I think. Well, how would you word it?
It's interesting. See, other people have told me that too, and it's interesting because that wasn't the difference between me and a guy like Kid Rock is I'll have a little bit of that element in there, but my favorite singers are Bon Scott and Ian Gillan and David Lee Roth. So it's it's gonna
David Lee Roth, really? David Lee Roth?
I love Roth.
What I liked about David Lee Roth was he had a subtle tone that you never got tired of. He didn't scream. Couldn't hit the notes sometimes, right? I mean,
I'm not talking that.
Come on, Joe. Seriously.
Modern Dave and live Dave, you can have all that. Just like the records and the delivery. Hey, and you know what? I think he's underrated lyrically.
I do too. I think he's underrated.
I think he's underrated
He
lyrically.
definitely have his energy, man.
Especially Women and Children First and Fair Warning. Those two records, like lyrically, those are they're pretty great. I mean, like there's the pop stuff where it's like the whatever lyrics and it's just they're pop songs. But Women and Children First and Fair Warning, that's you listen to songs like When Cradle of Rock or Mean Street. That's
Oh my god, seriously. Oh, Main Street? Oh my god, that's badass.
That's some real rock and roll lyric stuff,
So if there was, would you say that that's a band you would love to work with? If you could, like, if there was any band that you could work with,
Joe singing for Van Halen, yeah.
A band to work with. I don't know. Play with a band.
Yeah, I guess
to work with. If I could
anybody, right? Would it be?
If I could work with anybody, I'd sing for AC/DC. Fuck yeah. It's like who's?
He's got the bagpipe guy and everything.
Bon Scott, Bon's. I love Bon Scott. I can't sing the Brian Johnson stuff for. I don't know how he sings like that. It's amazing. He's a freak in nature. But the Bon Scott stuff, I'll sing that all night long. I love that. Bon Scott's. He bounces in and out of the 1 and 2 slot for me. Just love that. I love old AC/DC. You can't like reinvent another Zeppelin. It's like there has to be some organic shit that happens to make something that cool.
True rock star lifestyle is really not something that labels want to be a part of anymore. They stray away from that craziness, that we all think is really cool.
I have 2 songs. So what I got going? So with the JoeTown band, I have 2 songs recorded that I'm finishing for release early next year. Nowadays, like everything takes a video, and the video is really, it's a lot. It's important because that launches the song and everything. But it's a lot of work and it complicates things a lot more than just audio.
Oh, I get it. Everything's video today. They're not tuning in to me because they want to see the portly bald guy. They're tuning in for Rachel.
It's ratings, baby. Come on. The drummer David Keith, he is amazing. He plays with tons of people. He's Ritchie Blackmore's drummer in Rainbow and his Blackmore's Night thing, and he's a popular. He's from New Haven area.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from New Haven. And I don't know where he is now. He's constantly on tour and recording, but he did an amazing job, and just like he got it too. He just like felt the swing of it, and it just went in that direction. So it's this swing and rock and roll thing with a ton of horns. And
so you got Jimi Bell, who actually auditioned with Ozzy and plays with Autograph and toured with Joan Jett, and your drummer's from Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's pretty freaking cool, man.
And the horn players was worked with everybody from Bruce Springsteen and a mile long list of playing and arranging. So it's like that's
what I mean. Somebody like 25 years old would have no appreciation for that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just that and it wasn't like, hey, let's find guys that with names who've played with people. It's like no, it's like Jimmy recommended. He was like, we should have David play because he's awesome and has the right feel, and it was the good part is it worked out, and it's all great people who've been doing it, and like all the decisions have been music decisions, and it's amazing how leave kind of business and wants and all that stuff out of it and just make a bunch of ear-driven music decisions, and somehow it all seems to work just right.
Comes together, right?
And then I had this cover tune I was doing for a compilation. It was a cover of Paradise City by Guns N' Roses, and I was like, I'm gonna call Jimmy, and I had him come, and he came and played and did the solo, and like ripped it. Like he killed it. And then we just made a point to like try to do more stuff together. Just crazy proficiency. It's crazy. He's on it. Like there's only a handful of guys on earth that do that. When he just digs in nasty on a pentatonic, it's pretty cool. That's where he's my that's where I like where
Pentatonic scales.
yeah, just like he's just burning on kind of like regular blues stuff, but just on steroids, lightning.
That's
Pretty
Tyrone, right?
amazing. Yeah, that's Tyrone, and it's me at Munder Amplification. We went to his personal
Jimmy.
home, and yeah, that's me with my guitar, and Jimmy, and then of course Sammy Klutz.
Thank you so much for doing this, and it's a really cool series that you have for December. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. And take care, man.
All right, you guys have a good night. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.